Hey guys, my name is Monica and welcome to my channel. Today is Thanksgiving and it's kind of late. It's like 1 in the afternoon and I've been procrastinating because I've been feeling overwhelmed and I don't know where to start with this Thanksgiving dinner. I've made it before in the past, but I don't know, last year we didn't actually do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. We were actually traveling and we went to Reno, Nevada, and we had room service of veggie burgers and we watched TV and it was actually pretty awesome. It's one of the best Thanksgivings I think I've ever had, even though it wasn't a normal Thanksgiving. So anyways, I am going to cook, but when I get overwhelmed, I start overthinking things and then I don't do anything because I don't know where to start. So right now, makes sense to go with what's gonna cook the longest, which is this holiday roast. Okay, let's see the directions on this. Okay, it says instructions are to cook from frozen, do not thaw, preheat oven to 425 degrees. So let's start with that. Just gonna preheat to 425. So this is what it looks like straight out of the box. Kind of heavy. Then it also comes with 2 packets of gravy. Okay, next it says to place in a roasting pan. It's actually like the perfect size, and then cover with tin foil. I think the cheesecake has to be thawed for a long time, so we're gonna take that out. Let's see, thawing instructions: remove cheesecake from package and transfer to cutting board or plate. Place in refrigerator, thaw in refrigerator for 5 to 6 hours. It's a good thing we're taking this out now. First impression, this cheesecake is a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Like the box is already small, and then the cheesecake itself is tiny. So hopefully it's still good. We're gonna let this thaw 5 to 6 hours. Hopefully it'll be done by dessert time. I think the oven is preheated now. And the holiday roast has to cook for 60 to 70 minutes covered with foil. Put that in. Stuffing calls for 1 cup of celery and also 1 cup of onions. And I'm gonna saute this in some water instead of oil because it sautés just the same and it's healthier. So I'll let that cook for a little bit. The recipe also calls for 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic, 1/4 cup of butter. So I'm just using Earth Balance original butter. I chopped up about 7 medium potatoes. I just chopped them up into cubes and I didn't peel them because I like the skin, and the skin has a lot of nutrients and it's really good for you. So I'll let that cook for probably about 30 minutes. So I have this stuffing, Miss Cubbison's traditional stuffing, seasoned. And I'm following the directions from the website. Just added the vegetable mixture of the onions and celery and garlic and butter to the dry stuffing mix. Next, I'm going to add 1 cup of roughly chopped walnuts, 1 cup of sweet dried cranberries. Whew, it is so hot in here. I cannot wait for the holiday roast to be done so I can turn off the oven. I am sweating up a storm. 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. I'm just using this Pacific brand. Then we're gonna give this whole stuffing a good stir before putting it in a casserole dish to bake in the oven. I just used some more of the Earth Balance butter, and I just buttered up this baking dish, and this is what I'm gonna put this stuffing in. I was able to get most of the stuffing in this baking dish, but I'm going to have to transfer the rest to another smaller one. The holiday roast says to cook for 60 to 70 minutes initially, and I lost track of time, and it's been over an hour. It's been exactly 70 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out. So the last directions say to increase oven to 450 degrees. So is to remove the foil. Oh my goodness, that's hot. Careful when you're taking the foil off. It's really hot. Oh, it smells delicious. Oh, that's gonna be good. And then after you uncover it, bake for another 10 to 15 minutes until roast is golden brown. So we're gonna put it back in this bad boy at the higher temperature for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, I'm gonna start the green bean casserole, and since I don't have a lot of baking dishes because, you know, I don't bake much, we don't ever host dinner parties or anything, I'm gonna put my canned green beans in here to start off with, all 3 of them. Can number 2, number 3. By the way, this is like a pie pop tin thing where like the bottom pops out, so it'll still do for baking. It's been exactly 15 minutes, so our roast should be done, even though it does say that oven times do vary. Looks pretty good. So it said cook until it's golden brown, crispy and hot throughout. Like, it looks golden brown to me, it looks pretty crispy, but it says to wait till it's cold enough to touch, to slice, and then serve with the gravy, but we'll deal with the gravy in a little while. I got other stuff to do for now. We're gonna put the stuffing in a moment, and the recipe calls for it to be turned down to 350 degrees. I'm about to chop up the cauliflower for Kal-El's recipe for the green bean casserole. Start with this. Got the cauliflower roughly chopped in the pan, and we're just gonna add some almond milk, some almond breeze, unsweetened original. And for seasonings, we're gonna use some garlic powder, we're gonna use some pepper, some regular pepper, some onion powder, and cream of mushroom is usually salty, so we're gonna add some salt. And then I'm gonna add in the seasoning I always used, my McCormick garlic and herb seasoning. Should be good. The recipe says to bake covered for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna cover this in some tin foil. And again, since I don't have very many baking dishes, I'm using this taco shell crisper to make taco salad bowls. But that'll work just fine. Also cover this. The oven is now down to 350 and ready to start baking. So we're gonna make the mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna use a little bit more of the unsweetened almond milk. And I normally don't put butter in, but it's Thanksgiving, so we're gonna live a little bit. And we're gonna put some butter in. And I started making my mashed potatoes with this Cuisinart handheld blender because it gets it really, really creamy, so this is how I'm gonna make it. Still kind of like it more thick than creamy, so I didn't blend it too much. And I'm gonna add some salt, some more of my garlic and herb, and some garlic powder. All right, and that is good to go. That is all done. I just had a bite of the mashed potatoes and they're so good. I just added a little bit more butter and it was perfect. I cooked the cauliflower till it was pretty soft. Now I'm going to blend it up. I just had to add a lot more milk to get it to blend, and it's pretty thick and creamy right now, consistency. It's been about 30 minutes for the stuffing, and the directions say to cook it uncovered for an additional 20 minutes until lightly brown. To finish off the sauce for the green bean casserole, I'm gonna saute some mushrooms, and I'm gonna also chop up an onion, and again, saute it in water, not oil. Got the onions added to the mushrooms, and I'm gonna saute that for a little while. Now that the mushroom and onions have pretty much simmered for a while, I'm going to add my cauliflower mixture that I put in the Vitamix. I just tasted this cream of mushroom, and you guys, it is amazing. The cauliflower actually makes a really good base for mushroom sauce. Now Now we're gonna add this to our green beans. Now that we got this covered, we gotta add some of the crispy fried onions to the top. You know how green bean casserole goes. Yum. I took out the stuffing. It is nice and lightly browned. Now I'm gonna put in the green bean casserole for about half an hour. We're almost there, guys. We just have the mac and cheese. Just using this gluten-free Barilla penne. And we're gonna use the daiya cheese as well. I think mac and cheese is something that's not traditional for Thanksgiving. I don't know when I started doing it. I just have incorporated it for the last few years because I really like mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and stuffing together. So we're down to the very last item that needs to be cooked, and that's these crescent rolls. A little embarrassed to admit that I'm afraid of the sound of these cans when it pops because it's like a surprise and it always freaks me out. So I'm actually gonna have my husband open these and then we'll proceed to baking these. The noodles are done, so we're gonna add just the mac and cheese from the daiya packet. So just the silver packet. There's 8 of these in the canister, and I'm gonna put some raspberry filling on 4 of them to make them kind of dessert ones. And I'm just using this CROFTERS Seedless Raspberry Organic Jam.